Welcome to the Flight Club Podcast, a woman's guide to leaning out. We give you a behind-the-scenes look at business launch and growth through the stories of successful female entrepreneurs. Here's your host, Felina Hansen, founder and CEO of Hera Hub.
Hello and welcome. I am excited to share my conversation today that I had with Laytricia Towery. She is a designer. She is passionate about design, and she applies that in building beautiful spaces. So she is the owner of 918 Design Company, and she has a bachelor's degree in interior design, and she has experience in commercial interior design. And she helps also, in addition to that, for the last 20 years, homeowners also transform their homes and spaces. So welcome to the show today.
Thank you for having me. I'm so glad to be here.
Awesome. Well, let's dive into your background. I always like to start with the backstory, if you will. So take us back. Where are you from? What's your career path look like? And then we'll get to the point where you stepped out and launched your business.
Okay. Well, I am originally from Dallas, Texas, and I got married to my husband right when I was still in high school, and we took off and went to our first duty station together, where I met a really sweet lady who was in direct sales for a company you may have heard of called Home Interiors and Gifts. I did home interiors and gifts for about 11 years, but I would find that once I would sell the clients some decor for their home, they would have me come in and do more. Fast forward to a year after that, I got into real estate when I was training one of the ladies in my direct sales company for Home Interiors and Gifts. She went back and told her husband, I think you should talk to her. She probably would be a great real estate agent. So in 2004, I kind of moved into real estate and found myself working more with buyers. And as I was showing these homes, I was really interested in the built environment and why the builder did this and why people did the things that they did in their spaces, how they had them laid out. And it just kind of sparked in me, well, maybe you should take this a little bit further. And so I looked into interior design school and just took the plunge, went into school. I still had 3 kids in school. My husband was in the military, active duty, and I made it happen. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know. I don't know how I got to.
I know. Is that point in your life a blur? I would imagine.
Yes, it is. But in 2016, I walked that stage with my bachelor's of science in interior design, and I actually got hired during my 3rd week of my 11-week internship for Pacific Interior Design in Anaheim Hills, and stayed on. When I graduated, I went full time, so I stayed in commercial design from 2015 until I left and made the decision that I wanted to take the company that I had built during my thesis project in school, 918 Design Co., and take it and make it into a real company. So I left December 21st of 2018 and plunged right into the company, and here I am today.
I love it. That's awesome. I want to pause on that decision, if I may, because, that's usually a pretty big decision for people. And I think, and that's part of the point of this show is a lot of times I feel like we kind of like, I had this idea, I launched my business, away we go, we kind of gloss over the fact of like, this is a huge decision, and you obviously family and, all kinds of things going on. Just talk about what that felt like.
Well, I tell you, like you said, it's we gloss over it, but it's a major decision. I will tell you, I had actually tried to quit once before and ended up rescinding my resignation and staying a little bit longer because there was a fear of, oh my God, are you serious? Are you going to really
am I going to do this?
Your own? Am I doing it? I can't tell you how many girlfriends I called and was like, oh my gosh, tell me what to do. Tell me, am I crazy? Is this crazy? My own company? Really? And it just what I do believe finally happened is I paid attention to the surroundings where I was working, and I knew that in my heart I would not have a chance to elevate. First of all, it was a mom and pop business. There was not that many positions to move up, and I just didn't want to spend so many years and not be able to fulfill and move up in a position that I felt I deserved. And that, coupled with the crazy commute, coupled with this desire, and I've always been an entrepreneur. And then I took that plunge to work for someone for 3.5 years, and it was time for me. And that pushed me off the cliff.
Yeah. I can imagine. I want to go back to this commute. I know so many people. So you are a founding member at Hera Hub Temecula, which, as this is recorded, is, I know, getting off the ground. So exciting. And you were commuting to Anaheim, Orange County area. How long did that take you on a daily basis? My goodness.
Yeah, that was on average about an hour and a half. Hour 45 minutes each way. I've had an incident where it took me 5 hours to get home one time because there was a spill on a lane, and it was one of those situations where it had to be closed so that it can be cleaned up. It was a diesel spill. But yeah, I had a part-time gig. Driving is what a good fellow Hera Hub friend of mine, Francine, called it, a part-time job.
That was your driving. Side hustle, was driving. Yes.
Yes, thank you. My part-time side hustle, and the only wonderful thing about that is that Jim Rohn said that if you're in a position where you have to drive and you have to commute, turn your car into a mobile university. So I was listening to everybody I could think of to help me get through this commute, because there'd be days where I'd be crying trying to get through the commute. I was so tired, and it was just a little bit overwhelming, but I did what I thought was necessary to get through it. I was thankful for what that whole thing taught me. But ultimately I knew that I was more than a commute, and I was more than a seat filler for someone else's company. I knew that 918 needed to happen.
Love it. Awesome. So let's get into your business. You do primarily design on the interior side now, is that right?
Yes, our company is twofold. We do home staging for properties on the resale market, and home interior design. So it's twofold. So staging and interior design. Great.
And the name of your company is probably totally obvious, but I'm not recognizing as a area code. So 918 Design Company or Co. What's in the name?
918 is actually my birthday, September 18th.
Oh, very nice. And okay. I wouldn't have guessed that.
I'm gonna tell you, no. I'm going to tell you, I love that though, because I can't tell you how many people, we have a lot of company swag, and we have a lot of gear that says 918. I cannot tell you how many people ask, oh my gosh, that is a really cool logo, but what is it? What is 918? I've had a waiter pass by my table like 5 times, and he finally was like, you know what? I just had to come over here and ask you, what does 918 mean? It's a really cool shirt, but what is that? So I explain it, and it's my way of bringing it into my company without my company actually being my name.
Yeah.
It was a way to include me and bring a part of who I am. And I consider my birthday an amazing day because I was blessed with the opportunity to come into this world and do amazing things. So why not?
I love it. That is awesome. Thank you for explaining that. It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. So, I mean, you've been through a lot in the real estate industry, yeah. I would guess, right? I mean, ups and downs and all kinds of things, Every time, it's so interesting. Every time I have a conversation with any entrepreneur in any industry, it's funny. It's like the story goes, and they're like, and then I did this, and then 2008 happened. And everybody has to like pause on that date, but especially in real estate, right? So,
yes.
kind of reflecting on your career and what you have seen, just share anything that you'd like around, the ups and downs.
I'm gonna tell you something. Something really unique happened to me before the whole fall. So as I might have mentioned, my husband is retired United States Marine Corps, and in 2007 we received orders for upstate New York because he was going on recruiting duty. So everything was still halfway decent or okay, and when I left, that's when the market really took a tank here in California, and or everywhere actually across the nation. I was in New York at the time of most of that, but it's a funny thing. I ended up going to work for the Urban League of Rochester, and I ended up going to work in the home store. And what we did in the home store was kind of like the backside of real estate when you're dealing with homeowners and buyers that we don't get to do. It's the work that you put in prior to getting that approval. So I was working with over 100 families a year to prep themselves and get ready for this home ownership process. And in doing so, it really made me, reflect as being a real estate agent in California, which I wasn't there. Everything that really needs to go into. We did educational classes before and after home ownership. And it just made me decide I really want to make sure my people are good when they are ready to purchase a home, and even when they're ready to sell it, and even during the process of ownership. It doesn't need to be a goodbye, here's your house or your keys, hope you make it. Are you okay? Are you making the right decisions for your home? Are you taking care of it with maintenance? Are you keeping up? So it really made me appreciate what this wonderful thing and gift that I had to offer to people, and to make sure that I instill in them more than just a closing, more than just buying a house, that they are okay when I came back to California, because I saw what was happening.
Yeah, I would imagine. So when did you make your way back to California?
We made our way back in 2010. We came back in July of 2010, and we moved back to Marietta. And we were getting prepared for retirement and making the decision that we would stay in California.
That's great. Awesome. How long was your husband in the Marine Corps?
He served 20 years.
Very nice. That's awesome. My boyfriend was retired, was a Marine Lieutenant Colonel, 21 years in. And
wow.
Yeah, now he's in the hospital system, IT side of things, software. Yeah, very, very interesting, different careers. So wow. Yeah. No, that's great. Well, let's get back to your business a bit. What are some of the favorite types of projects you like to do? I know you're doing design and home staging, and I think I heard you say before that, correct me if I'm wrong, home staging was something that you really enjoyed in particular. Is that right?
I did. I do. I really love vacant staging, where I can really go into a blank palette and just have fun, really make the space attractive to buyers, because it's the photos online, I don't care if they're going to Zillow, Realtor.com, the MLS, something a realtor has sent them. If it does not catch their eye, if it does not intrigue them or look like something that they could see themselves living in, they're not going to go see it. And that includes vacant, because buyers are visual. It's hard to see past blank walls for them. Even though they're not going to have the things that they see in the stage photo, it just makes it so much easier for them to make the decision to go and see that house. And that's what I love to do.
I can imagine. I mean, it needs to feel like home, right? I mean, I remember when I sold my first house, I was living up in Redondo Beach, and my realtor told me to bake cookies before somebody came over. I'm like, okay, that seems a little old school. I know, seriously. I'm like, now they probably just have a candle for that, but
of course they do. They have candles now, and diffusers and all that cool stuff out there for that now. But yeah. It's all
So
as part of creating an atmosphere. So
absolutely. Yeah. Making people feel welcome and at home. And,
yeah,
I think to some extent that's what we're trying to do, or what we do at Hera Hub, right? It's
yeah,
making people
yeah,
feel welcome and part of something. I'm just
yeah.
curious. I don't know if anybody's done this research, but are there any sort of statistics around, sales of empty homes versus, furnished or staged homes, asking prices or percentage of sales or anything like that?
Oh, there's a ton of statistics. Off the top of my head, I don't know a ton of them. I do know that stage homes typically sell for 10% above list
Hmm.
over vacant. They sell 25% faster over empty or vacant properties as well. So there's a ton of statistics, and we share them all the time with realtors and homeowners to kind of help them to understand just how important it is to really make a great first impression on buyers, and get them off the MLS or offline and into the door, because that is the only way you're going to sell a property, is with physical eyes on and in experiencing that property.
Mm, yeah. Yeah. Those statistics don't surprise me at all. It makes,
No,
makes sense because as we both said, people want to be able to picture themselves there and what their life would be. And I can imagine just what a huge asset that is.
I mean, well, think about model homes. That's how they sell you. I mean, that's
Yeah.
how they sold me every single time I bought a house. I know I'm not getting anything in that house. I also know every upgrade is probably marked up 500%, but I still am sold.
You want it. Exactly.
I look at it, and that stuff's not going to be in my house when I close, but I want it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. Do you have any favorite places, like tips, insider tips on where you like to go get things for your staging projects or even for some of your interior design projects? I know I'm a
Yes.
TJ Maxx, home goods
Yes.
girl. So
That's right. Home Goods, TJ Maxx. I love even Ross. I get a lot of a little secret that I guess, I don't know if anybody knows, if you have a living spaces near you,
yeah.
a lot of times they turn over products and it doesn't say clearance, but when you get to the register, it's like dirt cheap. I've
Mm,
gotten chairs for my staging. I've gotten really nice mid-century modern chairs for like $20.
wow.
Just amazing. And for the people who live in the Temecula area, taking advantage of that new Habitat for Humanity Wayfair store, it's bananas, the savings
Hmm.
that is in there.
Talk
It's
about
like
that, because I'm
oh my
sure
goodness.
there's lots of folks that aren't near that, but I'm just curious. Why I hadn't heard of that. What's that?
Yes, if you know a Habitat for Humanity,
Hmm.
I don't know the exact, and I actually met the board member at the Temecula, oh my gosh, what is it called? The Chamber of Commerce
Hmm.
award ceremony at Pachanga, and she was telling me about how they had opened the Wayfair. So I don't know if they have a partnership with Wayfair, but
They
they
must.
get like returned items, but they're fine.
Huh.
And expensive sofas are $200 and $300. Chairs you might pay $700 for are like $150, $80. It's crazy. So I love going there, and even the Habitat for Humanity, because they have a lot of brand new furniture at ridiculously cheap prices. So if you're on a budget and you're trying to stage yourself, there are so many ways that you can do that. And I'm a big fan of Facebook Marketplace, because people
Mm,
sell brand new things on there very, very inexpensively, and there's no excuse not to have a space that you can really attract buyers to and get those above list offers, no repairs, none of that. Get the most for your money.
yeah, absolutely. So a bit of hunting, it sounds like, and to find
A
the
little bit.
diamonds in the rough. Yeah,
Or
but I
hire
would
me and I'll do it for you.
exactly, exactly. And then sorry, I don't know much about the home staging business. Are you then having to store those items when a house sells,
We do.
or how does, okay, okay,
We do.
got
We
it.
have a couple house, and we have a couple storage units. My husband would like to get a warehouse. I am actually looking at my goals for the next 3 to 5 years, and So I'm not sure if I want to do that because I might be phasing out of the home staging in 5 years from now. So it's a part of my thought process. I'm out of the I want to say direct staging, but I will do consultations, which I love those because the transformations are pretty cool. And the sellers use the stuff that they already have and then kind of edit down what is not necessary to make a clean, simple look for their home that will still make buyers want to put those offers in.
Sounds like an HGTV show, right? Where you go in and you're like, all right, get rid of that crap and move that around, right?
Honestly, we do that. Like, I've had to tell people to put away creepy statues. Like, I don't want to walk in this room and this big old giant Game of Thrones, chop my head off dude is standing at no.
Oh my gosh.
Let's put our little friend in the garage
seriously,
with a blanket over him and we're fine. It's good.
I'm sure you've seen all kinds of interesting things in people's homes.
Oh Lord. Between that and real estate.
Yeah. Oh, the stories you could tell. Well, on that topic, other things on the horizon for your business as you look forward over the next year or so, things you're excited about or working on?
Okay, so yes, I am. I've started to get an influx of design projects, so I'm really excited about that. One of the things that happens when you spend so much time working at a design firm, you're working and you're creating all this work that does not belong to you. So therefore, you can't take it as your own. So when you jump out and you start your own business, you find yourself lack on images and being able to show what you really can do. So I'm excited to take some projects that I'm working on, get those professionally photographed and get those into my portfolio. I look to be adding short-term rental design and home office design to my repertoire in the near future, and helping entrepreneurs get their space jazzed up for them to feel excited about going to work in their space in their homes and get this money and get this excitement going on in their life. So those are some of the things that I'm kind of working on right now.
Awesome. I want to ask you something that you said prompted. I'm just curious, I'm an Airbnb guest, but I haven't gone on the other side of the business. Is there a market around kind of design specific to that Airbnb market?
Yes. And I'm working on the research and finding different ways to reach the Airbnb hosts. Even actual Airbnb, there's many companies. There's just one. They have their own designers that the host can use, I'm assuming for a fee. But a lot of hosts do it on their own. But there are some people that probably would not mind receiving help. And I know a lot of designers are doing well jumping into that niche.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of excited to touch on that.
Yeah, it seems like Temecula, Southern California. For those of you who don't know Temecula, it is one of our biggest, the biggest wine region in Southern California, and has just grown exponentially in population and wineries. It's really very much a destination now for tasting and weddings and all that good stuff. And so I know when I come up, I'll look for an Airbnb because I'm staying for a few days, and it's just more comfortable than a hotel. And I'm surprised there's a lot of Airbnbs up in that area.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And I definitely think that would be a really fun avenue to go down, to be able to create these really nice, warm, welcoming spaces for these short-term rental hosts, to help them up their value and get higher value clients as well. So I think that I'm really excited to pursue that.
I love it. Well, Laytricia, if our listeners want to get in touch with you, what is the best way for them to do that?
They can go to our website. We have a contact form there. It's 918designco.com. And they can get in touch with me there.
Perfect. I love it. Well, Laytricia, it was so great getting to know you today. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for the opportunity to be here. And I just want to say thank you for everything that you've done creating Hera Hub. I am so blessed, and I've just gotten started.
Just getting going,
love
girl.
these women.
I love it. Awesome. Well, we are honored to have you in the community, and I look forward to continuing to get to know you.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining this week's episode of Flight Club, sponsored by Hera Hub. We look forward to sharing more success stories with you soon.